What's up? I'm Vin, and today I want to talk about how to bounce back from a bad math experience. So let's take a look at the start of my college career. I started off in Calculus 1. I got a C+ in the class. And then at that point, I decided to take a 2-year break from math. So for the 2 years that whizzed by, I was just clueless. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. But now I finally settled down and I start taking math classes again. So I take Calculus 2 and I take linear algebra. And I had to withdraw from linear algebra. And that was my first really bad math experience where even my best efforts at the time was not enough to get me through that class. So I hit the withdraw button so that I wouldn't risk having to fail the class. So now spring '09, I take Calc 3 and differential equations, and I get pretty decent grades in those classes. So that gives me the confidence to retake linear algebra. And the second time around, I got an A- in the class. So now I want to tell you the two biggest things for helping you bounce back from a bad math experience. You have to keep moving and you have to change your mindset. Now, the first time I took linear algebra, I failed just about every single quiz or test. But in the beginning, when I was failing the quizzes and tests, my confidence was crushed. And then any studying I would do after that was just not effective at all. I was just so focused on the fact that I was probably going to fail the next test. And that's all I was really thinking about as I was studying. So then anything I was trying to learn, it wasn't sticking. But from the time I took linear algebra the first time to the second time, I had more math classes to help me build up confidence. And my study habits and mindset started to change. So anytime I would get things wrong, I would reflect on it and say, did I make a mistake like 5 + 5 is 12? Or did I just have no clue what was going on? And if it's the first kind of mistake, then that just means you maybe need to take a break from studying, maybe go on a walk. But if it's the second kind of mistake where you have no clue what's going on, that means you have to go back to your notes, you have to go back to the textbook, to the theorems, and you have to figure out what you have no idea what's going on. So it became less about the emotion side of it, and it became more about focusing all of my energy on learning how to do the math. So then little by little, my practice just became almost automatic and robotic. I would get things wrong, and yeah, I would get frustrated, but then it was just like, all right, cross it out, try it again. Got it wrong a second time, cross it out, try it again. And you just have to keep moving. Okay, that's the second tip, is that you have to keep moving. So the more you adopt that mindset of you're just moving, then getting things wrong, it's just almost like an annoying fly. You're just like shaking these things off, and you're just so focused on accomplishing the goal, which is learning the math in the time that you have. So change your mindset and keep moving. Now, I get it. Failing quizzes, failing tests, failing the class really, really sucks. Now, it's normal if you're nervous. It's normal if you're scared about your upcoming math quiz or test. But just know the only thing you have control over is how much time you put in. And when you're putting in that time, it has to be quality time. So do your best to not focus on the outcome of the test. Just focus on preparing for the test, and that way you could show up and put your best math on the paper.